Artist Journal, September 12th, 2022, Berlin. My name is Adrian Pocobelli, your artist reporter on the scene, where we go beyond objects sometimes to Twitter. And it brings up a very, something that's been obvious to many of us for quite a while now, which is that if you want to find exciting new art, you go to Twitter. You don't go to Instagram. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own experience. So, don't any of you Instagram aficionados get offended by me. But I am speaking from my own experience. And when I think of Instagram art, I think of actually everything I've seen before, if you know what I mean. Everything that I'm supposed to like, trad art world, etc. And as I have nothing against the tradition here. As we all know, I am all about the tradition in a lot of ways. The Italian painting tradition is one of the greatest things that humanity has produced, as well as all the other painting traditions out there. So I saw this piece. I don't want to waste too much time. Again, thank you for all the comments and thank you for tuning in again. I'm trying to keep these shorter, okay? Because they kind of go on, and I'm doing that right now. So let's get right to it. I saw WOC here. I'd never heard of them, but I saw this as a retweet or something. I just thought this was a nice way of commemorating September 11th. And it looks like it's been done with spray paint, almost like a street art type thing, like street art, like the guys when you're on tour and you see these guys doing like pyramids and UFOs and asking for a couple of bucks for their thing. And you see it's often with spray paint and they have their mask on, or they should. And this kind of reminds me of that. And so I liked it on just a kind of, for lack of a better term, an authentic level like that. It's just like this relatively humble tools, shall we say. It's not using AI, which we will get back into. But what I also liked is how it worked out just conceptually, which is it's just kind of a fuzzy memory in a sense, and it kind of captures it. It was a major media event. Here's the cover of Time, and it was the two buildings blowing up, and it was a terrible day. And I thought WOC, intentionally or not, did a beautiful job of capturing it. To me, this is a great commemoration of the event. So there was one other piece that WOC posted, which also looks like a kind of street art, and it's the burning building. Similar idea, like this spray paint on basically a wall. So again, and it's easy to say, it's easy to criticize artists that are taking on subject matter like this, because I've seen it fairly, I wouldn't call them super prominent artists, but who I'm not going to name, but showing people falling from the Twin Towers, which I think is easy to criticize, because imagine if that was you or a family member, and then some artist dude is showing someone falling out of a building to promote what, and to really what are we helping with? What are we helping people understand here by doing that? So I that's another reason why I kind of like these fuzzy versions. It's not, in a weird way, I would say it's going in the opposite direction of sensationalizing the tragedy. Because all these media events, we're so numb. The death of effect, as J.G. Ballard puts it, we no longer feel these things anymore, war, whatever, unless, of course, you're in it. But as, mass media consumers, we no longer feel anything anymore. And just as media consumers, period, all these, everything's become abstracted. This is a major Ballard theme, which we will return to. So I just wanted to point these out. These kind of, for me, that was kind of like the most exciting thing I saw yesterday. I went to his object. If you go to WOC and then you click on the object, which is what I did here, not minted either, which in a weird way, I'd say is kind of a classy move. So I don't know who this person is, WOC, but kind of interesting. Okay, they have an Instagram. Maybe they have their name here. No, just another one of The Life of Pablo. screenshots. I don't know if that's just something for sale. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that. Let's continue. So, Strange Thing back on the menu. Hello, Strange Thing. Thank you for watching and thank you for the comments. You left a really nice comment, which I saw at 4 in the morning when I woke up and was kind of bored lying in bed and looked at Twitter. And there was a very nice retweet and comment from Strange Thing, which we'll get into. So there's a bit of drama yesterday for him. And he is one of the biggest sellers right now on Object. And so he put out this piece yesterday, trademark objected special edition airdrop. So from my understanding, and we'll get into it quickly here, he was kicked off of Object temporarily for using the Nike, for basically copyright violation. So let's read his story here very quickly. In the early morning of the 11th of September, I was informed my account had been banned due to trademark concerns by Object. I was witnessing many in Object's Discord rushing to my defense even before I had, arguing fair use. This piece is dedicated to fair use and what art could look like if we had to blur out every logo in our art. So, here. But it is also to thank those who supported me in a terrifying moment, especially Clown Vamp, for accepting the request to represent me when I couldn't even type due to shock, and also to Wise and Object. As I understand, they were just protecting artists and collectors. I believe it has also allowed Object to learn more about trademark and fair use, so this potentially won't affect any more artists again in the future and can allow us to express ourselves with freedom. Thank you, Strange Thing. I don't know what MAIF. You guys helped me with MJ, so thank you for that. I know now that's Midjourney. Actually, I want to open that up quickly, but first let's just tackle. So a couple of things, and we'll make it very quick. So he was reinstated, so we're happy for him. Yeah, interesting things. I mean, history of art, you look, of course, the first thing everybody, at least I think of course, is Warhol's Campbell's Soup. And what Campbell's Soup did, from my understanding, they realized it was better publicity for them than to crack down on Warhol, and which was totally true. It made them way more famous than they ever could have dreamt of. And they were already, of course, super famous. In a sense, they didn't need Warhol, but Warhol probably it's the best. You can't buy that kind of advertising. And I think a lot of American corporations have actually followed in Campbell's footsteps after maybe first cracking down more in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s. You could expect a crackdown. I see kind of a loosening. I don't know if you see that too, but like with Disney, they're not cracking down on every single person that is kind of doing something with Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse, because they're actually on thin ice themselves, because their copyrights keep getting extended, I think by Congress, from what I understand. I thought there was a law like 75 or 80 years, and then it goes into public domain, all your intellectual property. So from what I understand, from what I've been told, this is just a story, Disney keeps getting Congress, or somehow gets a special, these things are getting extended, so they're actually on thin ice. So, and as far as Nike, I mean, I would think these are pretty cool works. We could argue on the vanguard, on the forefront of the AI art scene. Okay, so Nike should take this as a massive compliment. Now, if Strange Thing starts selling clothing with the Nike logo and then calling it his art, okay, then there's a thing. Now, to be fair to Object is probably going, at first they were probably like, oh, maybe we need to take this off. I'm just imagining here, because, Nike might not like that, and we can't risk the platform, is what they're thinking. But then with the blowback, with everybody responding, they also couldn't risk losing the artist, so they probably thought to themselves, I'm imagining, we're better off just letting this kind of work happen and to be, frankly, sued by Nike, if that's what it comes down to, and deal with it then, and we can't buy that kind of publicity anyway, and we'll blow up in a good way if Nike sues us. So, which is kind of I use a lot of appropriated imagery, and I've always sort of said, like, tell Mom, I would love, like, if Google wants to sue me, or whomever, like, that would be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and put out a press release the next day. Pocobelli sued by Google. Artist Pocobelli sued by Google. So anyways, I'm happy for him because you don't know where, like, he may live off this stuff, or maybe this is the big break that he's always wanted, and all of a sudden it's just kind of been taken from him for all we know. I don't know, I don't know Strange Thing's name, but a very friendly guy. He left a very nice comment yesterday while I was asleep here. Another great show by Pocobelli, talking about yesterday's show. It was amazing that I managed to help a skeptic understand the complex process, which is more than pressing a button using AI as artists. Thank you for having this conversation with the community and me, your friend, Strange Thing. Well, thank you, because you have contributed enormously to this conversation. Now, okay, we have another AI work I just want to point out to Sumi Ray. Now, I wanted to show people very quickly Discord and this whole AI bot, how it works. Basically, you join Midjourney's Discord, which in the last episode I showed how you can do that just from the link. You have to have a copy of Discord downloaded on your computer, and then you put /imagine when you follow their instructions. And I'll just show you how it works. I thought of a kind of a funny one: Elon Musk eating at McDonald's, and let's see what happens here. So I want to show people how it works, because not everybody is going to download this and whatever. So just, again, we're trying to figure out all of this stuff and just what it means, and in a really truly honest way, not having a dog in the fight. Like, you see, where's McDonald's here? Like, you see and maybe there's an issue using trademarks. Oh, but maybe there. So let's see, but here's just another example. We're 50% there. Kind of unimpressive on this one, which is why I said in the last episode, it's not as easy as pressing a button and saying, oh, okay, now I'm going to get some masterpiece. And you see, like, the words, which are like magical incantations, I was thinking to myself, these are like spells. I mean, it's what are the words you're using? And that's what determines... what happened to our thing here? That's what determines what results here. Here we go. So there's Elon Musk. He looks like more like David Duchovny or something here. So interesting. And then you can do it again. You can redo it. And on the Discord, you can see everybody else's queries or prompts, or whatever you want to call it. So you can see what other people are putting in, flying amongst the stars, exploding supernova, star flares, gas clouds. And then they get something like this. Okay, so just to clue people in very quickly. So then you go back and we see this AI work, say, by Sumi Ray. I think Sumi Ray, who sees AI account. And then you go, oh, okay. Now, again, I haven't even opened DALL-E, and DALL-E looks super promising. So I'm not totally convinced yet, but I'm impressed, and I'm just open-minded. In a weird, I'd say I just don't have a dog in this fight, is how I'd put it. And if we discover that this is a great tool, which is what it's looking like, I can't wait to use it, right? I can't wait to make my own series of AI whatever, okay? But first, it's, okay, so, again, we're starting, the point is to go a little bit slowly with this AI investigation so that we're very careful and methodical in what we're discovering here, okay? So enough about that. So we showed you Midjourney. Just a quick thing. So we had this Minta work, which is kind of this meta work, pay what you want. And it's like this infinite regress. I kind of like that. And I was just thinking, when I saw Strange Things work about being banned, and I saw the screenshot, and Minta had done a screenshot, I just thought, this is great. I thought of Minta when I saw this, which is kind of funny. So that's why I had Minta here. Pay what you want on Minta's work. I think it might be done. I don't know. Oh yeah, no, you can still make an offer. Okay, what else? We had this by Rat Cloaksy. He put out a 1 of 1. Interesting, what I would say, fusion of the phone art, or call it what we will, art made on a smartphone in his case, and the Microsoft Paint work. Like we saw this kind of like Kafka-esque character in the Kafka piece. Okay? And so that has been worked in, that whole kind of theme. So we're seeing kind of the finger art gallery, I don't want to say merge, but kind of cross over with the No Kings, No Masters series. So just kind of an interesting thing. Again, beautifully done, signed, interestingly. And yeah, it's just another kind of with the Americana background. Again, very interesting colors, nice flat blue sky. And the dog, and the black dripping. Not sure, I think of oil, but there might be other, I'm not sure what's going on here. But a beautiful rendering as usual. And so Weblinks picked that up after about an hour. This went on at 2:05, it was listed, and exactly an hour later, Weblinks picked it up for 500 Tezos, so another big sale for Rat Cloaksy. So congratulations to both. And remember, this one went for $320, also to Weblinks. So Weblinks continues the buying spree. New one by LB. So a lot of you know LB, video artist. We've talked about him once. Just kind of interesting work, more of an abstract thing. Consistently putting out work. Thank you to bobaboo.eth for picking up this from the sketchbook, She's Going, which was about Nancy Pelosi. It was just playing with screenshots of, in this case, the Drudge Report of Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan. So just, I really enjoy that contrast of the square pixel and sketching. So just doing what I'd call a pixel art sketchbook. And people could say, well, that's not pixel art. But I was thinking, pixel art for me, just a definition is art with a square brush, with a pixel brush. Because otherwise, you can't say it's of a certain size, because then it's just arbitrary. If you say, oh, well, it has to be big pixels and not small pixels. So I use it in a general sense in this pixel art sketchbook. So thank you very much to Bababoo for picking up that sketch. It was a lot of fun to make in the pixel art sketchbook. Going to make a lot more. And just looking at our power outages coming. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, take care.